Hello and welcome back to a new playthrough of Terra Invicta. Those who remember, Terra Invicta was one of my first games which I created as a let's play or playthrough on my YouTube channel. And I played the Academy in Brutal back then. It was one of the first, I think, playthroughs for the Academy in Brutal after Early Access. And I'm going to do something similar, but I'm going to play the Resistance because I'm looking at the Phoenix achievement. Sorry, I'm German, so pronunciation of Phoenix is a little bit different. And yeah, basically what we need to do is to let the servants or the protectorate win and then reconquer the Earth and win against the aliens. However, well, basically losing Earth isn't something I envy, or especially as Academy. I went very well into defending with armies and nukes. I do think I want to do something similar to a certain degree. But let's get into the game and then I'm going to explain a little bit my thoughts here. So basically, I haven't played Terra Invicta a lot since the early access and since my playthroughs of the Academy. Afterwards, I was relatively burned out from the game because the late game was quite a slog and very slow, at least from my taste.
We remember the day the stars answered, the day we learned
I'm going to
we
skip
were not
it
alone.
because I want to continue explaining. So basically, okay, Slovakia, that's good.
Greetings, Command.
I have been looking into the game from time to time to see the new UI and everything. And okay, so everything here is as expected the same. And yeah, but I didn't play a campaign, basically. I played a little bit of some turns and made some openings, especially for the Phoenix. I did a little bit of testing out in regards to like, do I want to, for example, go for Europe and the EU? Or do I rather want to go into the US or into India or China? Or Russia, in fact. So I made some like the first year or something to play out what do I think feels best. Also in regards to science, to like, well, what do I want to do? And what I decided on roughly being the strategy is I'm going to go for the US again. And I'm going to build something like a Fortress America. So I'm going to consolidate the early game on Canada, US, and Mexico, and a little bit the Caribbeans here. And later, if I can, I'm not 100% sure how much time I will have on Earth before I purposely let it fall, basically. So it depends on when the invasions happen. I might also start consolidating South America, maybe. So it depends on how everything develops. But I'm going to be not interacting or barely interacting with Europe and Asia and Africa only for exploitation purposes here in the early game to get some money. But basically that's it at the beginning. Now, what do I want to do with Fortress America here? I'm going to build up military again, so to have like at least a score 7 army probably. Because when I reconquer the Earth, I need to start somewhere, and I want to start in the US again. And then I have the military score 7 armies here, because the score does not get deleted when it falls to the aliens. Therefore, I can use the build-up I have done on the military score here, and use that to reconquer the Earth afterwards, which is going to be roughly the same as I want to build up, like basically Americas first, and then somewhere here, depending how the world situation looks like. But that's going to be a very, very long time in the future when Earth has fallen and I have my fleet in orbit and everything is consolidated, at least in the inner solar system. Now, let's have a look at everything else. So basically, we are not going to make any pushes here for certain sciences because I want to let the AI do some tech here. And rather focus on consolidating my control of the Americas as fast as possible. However, what we need to do is check our counselors. And, ooh, interesting, an engineering project from the get-go. 200 money do we have? This one is extremely powerful. Boost projects, income, 800. Interesting. Now let's first look at our advisors here. We do have... Oh, there's also Delta Force. Delta Force has Assassinate, yes. That's something really hard to get if you want to play peacefully and not criminal. Which I want to do. Elder Statesman. It's very good. 10 influence income at the early game. Very strong. 7 persuasion, 6 admin. Quite nice. That's our American year. So at least we didn't get an scientist, which is really good. And another politician, also with influence income. Agitator. Not that great. Addict, bad, but we can remove it at some point. Demanding is okay. +2 admin is worth it. Okay, now we want to get this one as fast as possible, which means we need to get some money. So what we are going to do is put kleptocratic as default for the moment. And then we are going to look for some resource-rich regions which we can get money from to get that orc as fast as possible, because then we have a boost income from the get-go. And also we need to investigate if we can get someone with command already. Ooh, that's a bad roll. Not a single command person in here, so we are going to have problems in flipping Kazakhstan. In fact, we might not even be able to. Striver activist 33. Ooh, this is basically a must buy. That's what we have here, but he doesn't have. There's also Striver here. And we have to get him. Ferrara, we do not care because it's Nigeria. Expert, it's decent. Cautious is good. Striver. Demagogue isn't really useful. Maybe from Mexico. Yeah, Mexico is probably where we get bonuses from this one. Which is good. This one is also nice because he has government, but he's 46 already. I think we are going to have to remove one of the other ones at some point. So we're going to take him because he's also going to help us relatively fast in getting some resource-rich things. Now let's see, what can we take with him? We could go for Iran, Iraq. Too much unrest to produce anything. Same for Libya. Algeria might be interesting. Let's do we have with resources. Peru 6.8, it's decent. Venezuela? 6 unrest, now it's a bit high. Chile 7. Ooh, that's quite good. We should check how much we get from spoils. 128 here. 120 here. Let's check. Iran here, spoiled 133. 160. This one is still great because of 2 resource regions. I also want to take Kazakhstan early on because we could spoil it as well and we get some boost. So let's in fact start here with 83%. That's really good.
At your service.
At your service.
42% and center 54%. Yeah, let's go with him here. Consolidate on these two, and then we go for the
Ready for my mission.
alien mission first. Now, the big problem is going to be command. We need someone who can do something like coup d'etat here, but he has command 1. Great. Wait a second, someone has already coup d'etat.
Ready for orders.
He has 4 command. Okay, he is decent in that regard. If we can get him Delta Force, for example, or we could upgrade his command to get us a better chance. 3 stars. Now, first of all, let's pick this one. And can only get one of them. Yes. I don't think we are going to get this one as well. But let's start here. Confirm. Now, assuming that we are going to build this guy here up in command, we're going to need... What is he? He's a politician. Crackdown and Purge is also present, so we could build him into the direction of command, espionage, and investigation. If we can get Delta Force, it would be huge, but I do think it's getting rotated out beforehand. Let's in fact take 1 command here. Wait a second, what is Firebrand again? No. Let's take 1 command already here.
Laying the groundwork.
6 XP, 20 here. Elder Statesman. That's the influence income. Hard target, streetwise, affluent, survivor. I do think I want to put something into persuasion here. Okay. Now we got 2 decent persuasion persons. We basically need someone with science and ideally also with government. 15 science isn't bad. Judge celebrity. He's decent, but advice, control. We could use him. He's decent. Maybe we're going to pick him up as fast as possible just to have a next person. We're going with science here, even though it's marginal. But since they rechanged the +3 ops income here, no longer that important. Okay, cohesion for everyone. And there goes the first mission alien objective. It's something we are going to try to push, the alien objectives, because then we can get our faction org relatively quickly, and that's quite strong, and it gives us plus 25 CP, which is basically 1 control point in the US, which is worth it. Okay, let's continue. And there we go. Now we can switch into alien signatures here. And I'm going to push it, in fact.
We were unable to establish control.
Oh, sad.
We were
Wow.
able to establish control.
We are going to be quietly.
We can join.
It has always been.
And we met 2 factions. And now we do have enough influence here to buy the professor. There we go. So maybe we should have done that public campaign here.
Acknowledged.
68%.
Ready for my mission.
You do as well here. 75%.
Where to?
Public campaign
Ready to
here.
go. Standing by.
See, 65. It's not there. We don't have enough. And That's too low chance. So let's see. Can we get... not really. Americas maybe. 33. 36. Let's invest 1 here. And continue. Now, in general, I'm not going to show everything. I'm going to make cuts, but I want to show the early game, like what I'm going to do until I jump into the US. Then I'm going to make some skips and cut stuff together, because then it gets quite repetitive for a while, because we are just building up everything and researching until we can jump into space, for example. Okay, we got 1 control point, 2 control points. Nice. That's really good. Now we got our spoils income here. And we also got 1 in Chile. That's really, really good. Now, continuing here, let's check out this one here. A coup d'etat here. 13. That's not much. Okay, let's spoil it for a little bit before we think about it. And our Teresa here, she can't make.
Ready.
Okay, he's going to stay here with public campaigns to increase our hold there, and then we can think about a not a purge, a coup d'etat later on.
Ready to go.
Now, I want to consolidate more money, so let's also take Peru down here. 1 influence and you as well. And after Peru, I want to jump into Canada already. Okay, continue. We had 139 signs already, that's good. Mission to space is done, and the deep propulsion concepts, that's good.
The people will come to our side.
Repeat, deep propulsion is in fact the path to nuclear fission in space, which we are going to need for Mars at least. Okay, we got the first CP in Peru. And the second one. Nice.
Our supporters are in place.
And Chile as well. Now, is the op still there? It's here. And there's another one with... Ooh. So much good stuff. You were the command guy. So let's continue command here. You're gonna get this one as well. And I'm going to give you admin. Okay, continuing.
Commander, we appear to have an alien on the loose.
Okay, for those who didn't play it before, now we discovered that there are definitely aliens in these ships, and they are somehow going around the Earth. We are not going to do the survey missions right now. We're going to push for Deep System Skywatch at some point. You can read it by pausing the video. I'm not going to tell everything. And we want to find more technology because the ships have crashed and they don't really reveal much. Now, first we are going to push We Are Not Alone to get the clandestine sales projects faster when we finish that text. That's where we get our 5th agent from, which we desperately need. And let's continue here. And now with Chile and Peru in our hand, we do or should have a decent income of money. And Kazakhstan.
Your orders?
Yeah, let's push until we have like 25% here. And then we can think about doing a coup d'etat. Meanwhile, we are going... Okay, you can't do public campaign, so you have to try.
Establishing our presence.
Oleiten. You have to do the public campaign here.
Persuade the people.
And you also can't do public campaigns, it's fine. 14% here. That's terrible, but let's do it.
Our presence.
And initiative and Skywatch Photonic Computing is a waste right now because it doesn't really give much, but whatever.
People will come to our side.
10%, repeat,
Our cause is unjustified to them.
repeat and continue. Ooh, provide funding. 100 for public relations, yes, perfect. And we can buy something. I want them both, that's the problem. Let's buy it there and hope that we can get this one as well.
We got our people in place.
Okay, Canada has been taken. We are going to spoil this one as well for the moment.
We were unable to establish
Just
control.
that we get some money. After Canada, we are going into Mexico, and then we can start working on the US and by abandoning our money producers, basically. 500. Still there. So let's pray. 6, 8, 42. 700. There we go. Nice. We are going to remove this one, buy it here, perfect. And you can get this one. Perfect. That's really great. And now we already got our 8 scientists with 16 passive income. That's really good. And we got a boost income of plus 0.5 as soon as it updates.
Public sentiment is increasingly with us.
Repeat.
We're winning their hearts and minds.
Okay, now we're at 26%. That's good. And we are going to call in the generals because the military priority is one of the hardest to get. And we don't really care about
We're taking over.
economy and everything else, basically.
We failed to take control.
Yeah, obviously you failed. We are up to 0.8. That's good. And now we need to do the following here, because as long as we do spoils here, the elites are going to be happy,
Ready to go.
which we don't want to. And now the elite dissatisfaction comes in on our side, and we can do the beta. Let's do it with 69%.
Time for a
Nice.
change.
Where do you need me?
And now let's already switch to public campaigns in Mexico.
Our case.
Teresa is trying to get the last one here.
What's the op?
84.
We'll be running this place in no time.
And Jaguar, you are going to go for... Wow. Let's start already with advising on Canada here.
Offering support.
We are going to deviate here now and not do spoils, because we want to push Canada into space and make us mission control, which we need for our bases.
Our only hope is to understand.
They are not life forms.
Okay,
I will help them.
and we basically got the first steps done. If our coup d'etat
The dreamer in
is a
me has-
success and Canada is in our control, I repeat, continue. There we go. Because now we got the full boost income of Kazakhstan of 2.5 from Baikonur going into our pockets. And that's basically one of the steps you want to achieve in the early game as fast as possible. And clandestine cells has been opened up, which we are going to push through. In fact, we didn't. I didn't pay attention. Rival domestic policies, institutional outreach is very useful. Yeah. Yeah, it's decent selection here. Or even though it's delaying space, but that's fine. We are no hurry in regards to space right now, because we want to consolidate in Earth first and defend here, basically, or build up for a defense. And
We've gained significant support.
perfect. And you're going into space as well here. And okay, let's finish up this mission phase, and then I'm going to make the first cut because the early game is, or the early game is basically finished, as we achieved what we want. And now the next episode is going to be about consolidating into the US. In regards to new orcs, I'm still looking at Delta Force here for 200, which is going to give us the critical mission we need. But Foundation, Hyde and Hilder is also very good. But Persuasion is slowly already declining in value because only the US needs to be broken, and we do have our Persuasion 9 guy who is decent, and we can upgrade him to 10 in fact, so let's do it. And he's also a striver, which is really, really good. Yeah, we want to have him with that orc if we can make it work. I'm not sure we can. Should we maybe push this? How much do we get? 25. That's not much. 3rd of December. Yeah, let's get this. Maybe we can make something work. And yeah, we also need to do go to ground for these guys at some point because they have all been discovered. But now next steps are pushing Canada into space, consolidating Mexico, and afterwards breaking into the US when we are basically ready. So as soon as we have reached 25% here in Mexico, we can move the public campaign into the US. So far, looking quite well. And we have a decent passive income from leeching some of the South American economies for the moment. I'm going to make the first cut and see you in the next episode where we finish our early game.